Hello, everyone. Welcome to Joe Consumes Cinema. I'm your host. Welcome to Lumen. Now get to work. And today we have Severance Season 2, Episode 1. So I absolutely love Season 1. It's a fantastic show. I binge watched it in like 2 days. That's a lot of reactions to do in 2 days, by the way. Stuff has just been running through my mind since watching the finale. All the possibilities of what's going to happen. I've had a few days to actually think about it, and the more that I think about it, I've ran through, some different scenarios, but I think that Mark may have actually gotten through when he yelled out in that last moment where he actually had, control. She's alive. He was holding the picture of his wife. So hopefully the group there can put two and two together. And the sister is the one we really have to reach. I don't think anyone in the crowd there is going to take notice. By the way, when Mark was in that setting, I don't know the character's name, but the black guy that found the baby with Mark, who immediately took credit. Something is off with that guy. I don't know what that was, but that was very strange, and I just took note of it, and I think maybe he works for Lumen. The way he was acting was just really weird. Like, I found the baby, guys. I did it. I found it. And it's like you didn't really. Mark did. That's just an odd thing that, popped in my head after rewatching the finale because I watched it more than once. Helly R gave that speech, and I'm just praying that that was televised so that that information can actually get out. Like, hey, we're not happy doing this. This is a nightmare. We're basically slaves. Like, please help us. I'm really hoping that endeavor was the most successful of all the three, even though it's very important to me personally that Mark learns that his wife is still alive and something gets done about that and she gets freed. Irving is very interesting. Initially, I thought this was the least successful because, he spent all his time trying to get into contact with Bert, drove a car even though he was told not to do that. It burned up a lot of time. If he had just, found a neighbor or something, I think it would have been a little bit more successful. But Irving might be the most interesting case. So he had some stuff on his outside person that didn't make a whole lot of sense. He had a map with all the different locations of severed employees. That was very strange. He was drawing these paintings of the room that Miss Casey walked into. I forget what it was called, but it was like the experimental floor or something like that. His outside person just paints it over and over again. So something's going on there. And the more I think about it, the more I think Irvin's outside person may be what I thought Kelly R initially was, and that is a plant in the company. He might be tied with whatever group that tried to help Petey and also is trying to help Mark too. Like, that's my hope, by the way. Don't know if it's true or not. We also got our first look at the CEO. Forget his name, but descendant of Kier. That guy's a psychopath. For him, it really is all about impressing this cult of personality on the world, I guess. He's completely insane. When he was talking with Heliar, he was saying, how could that monstrous innie do that to you? I was so distraught. And yeah, it's like a Walt Disney situation, completely psychotic, removed from reality, delusions of grandeur, thinks that the rules don't apply to him, thinks that they're beyond the limitations of society, law, etc., anything. For them, this is 100% a religious idea, getting everyone severed. To what end, we really don't know. There's still a lot of, unknowns about the show that I'm hoping season 2 will shine some light on. Like, there's that whole thing with the goats, and I immediately went to cloning. Like, maybe they're trying to clone Kier. Something absurd and ridiculous like that really is not that far out of range for, the type of people we're dealing with here. Also, the whole thing with the scary numbers. I still don't know what that is all about. I'm hoping it's not something too evil, like, oh, these are locations where sites on a map get bombed or something. And scary numbers are people that get, like, a Tomahawk cruise missile or something. Like, I don't know. One of the things I like to do when I watch TV shows or movies is make predictions. And again, my track record is 50-50. Half the time I'm right, half the time I'm wrong. So it's nothing to write home about, but I just enjoy doing it, and it's part of the fun, so I'm going to keep doing it. Again, everything I just said could be completely off base. It's entirely possible. It's happened before, but, that's just where I feel things might be going. I could be totally wrong, but just wanted to mention it. Thank you so much for the support. I really appreciate it. And with that, let's get right to the episode.
They torture us down there! David! We're prisoners! She's alive!
Oh shit. Mark's back at work. Is it possible for an inside person to dream while the outside person is in control? Because that's what this feels like right now. The hallways are vast, but he should have come to something by now. Wellness? The hell was that?
I suppose you're Mark S.
What the hell?
I'm Mark W.
Who are you people? Perché sta in piedi in modo strano?
Would you be open to using a different first name to avoid confusion?
Welcome back, Marcus. Been a minute.
How much time has passed?
Mr. Milchick, please.
What you all did 5 months ago was one of the most painful moments in the history of this company.
5 months?
We must be cut to heal, mustn't we? This is Miss Wong. Miss Wong, Marcus.
Hello.
Is it normal for a child to...
Excuse the clutter. Miss Kobel is no longer with this company. I now manage the severed floor.
What about my team?
We didn't fire them. Heliar and Irving B. both successfully made contact with persons on the outside, just as you did. Dylan G's Audi learned what happened after the fact. The four of you have achieved international fame. You've become known as the face of Severance reform.
Severance?
So much of it is redacted, fucking asshole.
I locked you in a room like an animal, Mark. For the past 5 months, we've been asking how a sadist like Harmony Kobel could take fertile root in Lumen soil, and what that says about us.
They pinned it all on Kobel.
We believe she developed an erotic fixation on you and had plans to pursue both you and your Audi in what might be termed a throuple.
What? You still haven't told me where my team is.
We tried for weeks to get them back, Mark. None of them agreed.
But Mark did? I'm not buying that.
Except for me.
Your Audi insisted on returning.
I don't buy that. He was the one that for sure was trying to quit. I think he's lying.
I'd like to hear it from them.
Yeah.
That's not possible.
Fuck you. He knows the situation with Miss Casey. He didn't reveal his hand there, but that was probably a smart play. Gotta keep that one for later. He knows Milchick's lying to him.
Did you really see the Audi world?
Yeah,
How's the sky?
I don't know.
Because we made a list of what we'd most like to see on the outside, and a sky was an easy number one.
Supply closet is now a supply cupboard.
My name is Miss Huang. It's my first day here as deputy manager.
Why are they severing teenagers now?
Why are you a child?
Yeah.
Because of when I was born.
I thought I'd be permanently retired when my branch shut down, so this is a nice surprise.
Think about me,
Don't tell him.
that I am lucky enough to have made 4 new friends today.
But I have to remind you that I'm a supervisor, not a friend.
Yeah, he knows.
3 new friends.
They just have him loop over and over again. He never gets out. Oh my fucking god. I knew they were lying to him, but I didn't know how they were lying to him. Won't they know that they don't feel, refreshed, as they said, because they don't have that time to rest and sleep on the outside?
We had, how do you say, a rope.
Hey, everybody.
Dear Audi, I don't know if this will reach you, but I'm writing to alert you of the heinous conditions in the severed office to which you have transferred me. The branch is run by a shambolic rube who goes by Milkshake.
Oh my God.
A man whose stupidity is rivaled only by that of the 9 core principles. If you must continue to send me here, please consider strapping a bomb to me so that I may explode both the Milkshake and the very spirit of Keir Egan. Wrathfully, your innie, Mark W.
Wrathfully. I like that.
Oh my God, that's very serious.
Mark W.
Wait, you think I wrote this note?
Are you going to frame all of us, or just Mark W?
Clever way to secure the name for yourself, I suppose.
You know what? I don't even know who this team is. I told you, I want my team. Which part of that don't you understand?
Marcus, at this time, I revoke your status.
You don't know what I did to the kitchenette yet, do you?
Hello, is anyone there? Is the board on? It's Mark S. from Macrodata Refinement. I know that you want to do the right thing for severed people, which is why I need to see my team again. Mark! Please, they're my friends. You can't just make them disappear. Please!
Are you firing me?
On you go.
Why can't you just bring them back?
Goodbye, Marquez.
Wait!
That's not the normal elevator. It's a horrible piece of artwork. I don't think we're on the severed floor anymore. We're on something worse.
Dylan!
Mark, did it work?
It worked.
Where are the others?
I don't know.
I didn't think I was coming back.
Okay, I've been back a couple days already.
What?
Yeah, and they had a whole new team.
Kobel just replaced us?
No. Kobel's gone. Milchick's in charge.
Kier pardons his betrayers?
Irving.
I don't think Heliar's... Maybe not. Oh, shit.
Are you okay?
I'm okay. Irving?
He won't come out.
Need a moment, please.
Milchick said our message got out. He said we're famous. They're waiting for us to tell each other what happened because they don't know what happened. I mean, what if they're listening, Dylan?
Are you okay?
Hi, everyone.
Oh, God.
Why is she like 8?
I don't know.
Welcome back.
I guess the board reconsidered my terms.
What you're about to see will be shown to every innie who sets foot in this building after today.
Oh, hi. You probably don't recognize me.
Keanu Reeves.
One thing I've always had is a love for my workers, both unsevered and severed. 4 NDR workers, dissatisfied with their severed lives, conspired to mount what Lumen historians will forever call the Macrodat Uprising.
Let's burn this place to the ground.
And love.
What the shit?
Bounteous reforms. These include tasty new snacks. To pineapple bobbing.
Oh, God. That's like throwing a pizza party at work instead of giving people a raise.
I thank Kier for the Macrodat Uprising.
Oh, God.
I don't want to be your jailer. Each of you will choose whether you want to remain here. Not your outies, but you. Has no cameras or microphones.
I think they're just hidden now.
What the hell was that?
Massive ass head game is what that was.
I was at a party at my sister's house. Rickon Hales, my Audi's brother-in-law. What? For some reason, we both know Kobel. The woman in the photo was Miss Casey.
Miss Casey is your wife? Then she's down here.
Mark, are you okay?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. What about you? What did you see?
She gonna reveal everything?
The inside of a really fucking boring apartment.
Ugh. She doesn't want to reveal that she's an Egan, like one of the enemy.
Then I went outside and found a guy. He looked like a gardener. I don't know. Sorry, guys. I really tried.
A gardener? A night gardener. It's not our world up there. That's what I saw.
Did you guys look happy in the wedding photo?
Miss Casey and I never felt that way.
Okay.
I gotta get her out of here. Right? I mean, if she's my wife.
Right, of course. I mean, assuming she's still here. We're not the same, actually.
What?
Us and the Audis, we're not. I don't think we owe them shit. But Miss Casey is... she's one of us.
I went to go find Bert. He's with someone. You're a good friend, Dylan. Audi was working on a painting of a hallway. There was an elevator at the end with a downward arrow. I wanted you to know. Before I left.
Okay, well, you're not. No, stop it. You're part of what makes me good at it, so please do not go.
Find me a favorite perk.
Don't bring them into this.
Mr. Milchick would like to see you.
I know, but they said it would be corrected by now. It should be Mr. Milchick. Your wife's name is Gretchen. She wanted you to know. These are blueprints for a new renovation, of which I chose not to inform your colleagues. It's called the Audi Family Visitation Suite.
What the fuck?
Are you saying I could see my family here?
Everyone else in your department is single. You keep this between us, or you only to avoid resentment.
He's trying to get at each one of them in a different way. With Dylan, it's the family. It's something he really cares about. What was that? Okay, took some time just to gather my thoughts. That was the first episode back. It was really good. Some time has passed, about 5 months or so. The team sort of got famous for this MDR rebellion or whatever they called it. Initially, Mark was alone, but he wanted his old team back and wasn't buying what Melchuk was selling about. They all decided to stay on the outside. It was very clear that he was lying, and I'm pretty sure that every time Mark went into the elevator to go to the outside, it never actually happened. He just immediately came back. They just switched the clocks or whatever. I'm pretty sure he never saw the outside again. So I do not believe what Melchuk was saying, that they voluntarily decided to come back. Possibly Dylan and maybe Irving decided that, and probably Heliar did too, given that she's an Egan. We've seen what she's like on the outside. She's, a monster, basically. It was interesting how Heliar did not reveal that fact. Actually, I kind of understand that, because she would immediately be, registered as one of the enemy. Everybody would be suspicious of her and, not trusting anything she has to say. So I do understand, that whole idea of not sharing that fact with them. Even though it's pretty clear that Heliar hates her outie, there's like nothing she can do. She can't reveal that information. The group just wouldn't have anything to do with her, and she doesn't want that. So she's decided to stay. Mark's decided to stay, and it seems like they're going to be working toward trying to free Miss Casey. Now, it was interesting. Irving did reveal that his outie painted, that picture over and over again of the elevator door in this black hallway with the arrow pointing down. Wherever she went to after that, who knows? But yeah, it seems like for now, they're back to work. They're going to try to free her if at all possible. I have a really weird theory about a new character. So Miss Wong, super out of place because she's like a teenager, and multiple people have responded by her presence being like, "Why are you a child?" And she said, "Because of when I was born." Something interesting that kind of popped into my head. I've said before I like to make theories, and my track record is 50-50. I'm going to make a weird one here, and this is totally out of left field, but I think Miss Wong is a de-aged Miss Casey. So we've seen that the reach of Lumen is that they're a global conglomerate, like it said in that little educational video, or, PR nightmare really, that they do business in more than 200 countries, so they're worldwide. We saw at the party that they have politicians ready to, spout the company line, I'm sure in exchange for funding their campaigns. So yeah, they have their hands in a lot of pies, as it has been said in the past. Very influential, throwing around a lot of money. Milchek showed Mark S. the article, but it was like super heavy redacted about their little insurrection, how they got out and actually tried to communicate with the outside world. So people do know about it, but apparently they have enough influence to either cover it up or do something, because I am convinced that Mark's outside person, we know he was about to quit. There's no way after having a conversation with his sister that he would voluntarily go back after what happened. So either Lumen applied pressure, threatened his sister and the child, something like that, to get Mark to come back. Or, like I said at the beginning of the episode, when Mark screamed out, "She's still alive," and thankfully he was holding the picture of his wife, maybe they put two and two together. He decided that the only way to try and get her out of there was to go back inside. It's like the only hope. In which case, I think potentially Mark is working with someone on the outside. Like that doctor from season 1 would be a really good candidate. Whatever group she is working with, the resistance, I guess we'll call them. But yeah, that theory I have could be totally wrong. They could just be, bringing in child labor. Or maybe she's like an executive's daughter. You never know. I mean, she could be another Heliar pretty easy. But yeah, it was a really good episode back, and honestly, I just want to get right to the next one. So, as always, thanks for watching, and peace.